Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? So, as you can see from the title and description, don't boycott the Switch 2. We all know old customers and new customers are going to buy the Switch 2. That's obvious, right? Because it's the next best thing, better performance. Who doesn't want the performance of a Switch 1 game that it should have already had? Who wants 30 frame rates per second to drop down to 25 frame rates per second on Monster Hunter Stories 2? I think my veteran Nintendo gamers know what I'm talking about. Nope, don't boycott the Switch 2. In fact, buy the Switch 2 day one, and I'll tell you why. I think I figured out why Nintendo is messing over old and new customers. I think they want to make as much profit until they can, until we all know inevitably it's going to be able to be modded. So, buy Switch 2 day one. Let it gather dust, because I know I'm going to, and I'm going to play my Steam Deck. Team Steam Deck. Anyway, so I'm going to let the Switch 2 gather dust. How you feel about that, Nintendo? I told you I don't care about your system. But you made me so mad, and I think you're being so disrespectful to the loyal customers that have supported the Switch and bought every single model of Switch you sold, every single game system you ever released, right? Well, revenge is sweet, baby, because as soon as the Switch 2 gets able to mod, I'm doing it. Oh, and by the way, here's some advice. If you do mod your Switch 2, don't support Nintendo's IPs. Only support who you want to support. Don't pay $80 to $100 for nonsense, especially if you're older customers and actually know what I'm talking about. We're not regular gamers, Nintendo. You should know that. But I have a feeling you do know that. And I have a feeling you know the inevitable thing is going to happen. And I am so happy about it. In fact, if the Steam Deck 2 comes out, it's probably going to be more powerful than the Switch 2. And the Switch 2 probably will be emulated on the Steam Deck 2. And we all know how much you hate emulation. Oh, and just to let you guys know, emulation isn't illegal. And piracy isn't stealing. It's actually copyright infringement. So if you companies digitally can say we don't own anything, then what do you think? I'll ask you again. Do you companies really want to go to an all digital future? It's not going to benefit you. You think that if you get rid of physical, that we'll be forced to only buy digital and you'll make more money in the process, right? No. Even more people are going to pirate if it goes all digital future. So all you greedy companies, right? You better hope, I don't want to say that. You better hope that it never becomes an all digital future. And even Steam Deck, right? Valve, as much as I love them, they even said you don't own any of their games. At least on GOG, it doesn't have DRM. You download the game once you purchase it, and you have the game forever. Just like Virtual Console. When you downloaded the game, you had it on your system forever. So even though Nintendo doesn't want you to own it, you still own it. But you can't re-download your purchases because they closed the shop down. And that's what they do. They close the shop down, take all your money, and they don't have to give you a way of being able to get your purchases. It should be illegal. We need to update the digital laws. These companies are getting away with murder, and we just allow it. These companies are legally robbing you, just like the stock market or Wall Street. They legally rob you. And I'm sick of it. So like I said, buy Switch 2 day one and wait till it gets modded because it's inevitable it's going to get modded. The Switch 1 got modded, right? And I have a feeling the reason why Nintendo wants to make as much profit off of new and old customers is because they know inevitably it's going to be modded. And once it's modded, Nintendo's not going to make as much of a profit. Duh. Anyway, don't boycott the Switch 2, okay? I wanted to boycott the Switch 2, but then I realized something. Oh, and you messed yourself over on Nintendo, and I love it. Ready? Everyone wants the Switch 2 because it's new and better performance, right? Obviously. I mean, yeah, I want my Switch 1 games to perform better, but I shouldn't be charged for it because of your compatibility issues of the Switch 2. I'm getting punished because you're so incompetent that you couldn't get Switch 1 just to work through cartridges and it should just work. That's why I said I think the Switch 2 was rushed. I really do. All the years we waited for Switch 2, you know, it doesn't matter about waiting for pre-orders. We waited years for the thing even to be released. And you guys are worried about pre-orders. That doesn't even make sense to me. Seriously. Make common sense common again. I think it's funny. You care about littering, but you don't have trash cans anywhere. How does that make any sense? Or do you not care about the environment anymore? Seriously, it makes no sense. I don't even think you know what you stand for anymore. Anyway, please buy the Switch 2 day one and wait till it's modded. Because there's more of a chance you'll be able to mod a system with the system firmware, the firmware the way it is. Usually, Nintendo or other companies figure out vulnerability or exploits and then they patch it through firmware updates. That's what these system software firmware updates for the system is all the time. It's not stability issues or whatever. No, it's not. All it is they figure out some kind of security that is their own fault because they're so lazy, right? Did you see the Switch 2, right? The graphical user interface, the GUI, it's the same thing as the lame Switch 1. Nintendo is so lazy. Like I said, Nintendo, make as much money off of the old and new customers as you can, because we all know what's going to happen eventually. Anyway, God bless. Bye.